Hello guys, today I will be telling you what things the Fruit Battlegrounds developers need to add and fix for the game to be better, or even fixed. Before we begin, let me outline 4 key elements for a good game. Firstly, the gameplay. Secondly, the VFX and the map aesthetics. Thirdly, the progression. For example, in Fruit Battlegrounds, it's leveling up. Fourthly, obtaining new items. For example, in Fruit Battlegrounds, it's spinning for fruits. Now let's see what the Fruit Battlegrounds developers should add to make the game even better. First of all, in the gameplay, all you pretty much do is fight people in the main game and in tournaments. But I think they should add a 1v1 in game mode because right now it is almost impossible to 1v1 someone in Whole Cake and Wano without getting ganged by a bunch of teamers, which is mad annoying. Also, they should make the fruits more balanced. Like, I don't know why they decided to nerf fruits like Gear 5 to the point where they are legendary level and decided to buff fruits like Soul, but for the major part of the fruits in the game, it is balanced. Second of all, the VFX and map aesthetics. Personally, I have no problem with the map aesthetics since they are absolutely beautifully made with nice detail and vibrance, except for the fact that some things are oversized like the cake chateau. For the VFX, I definitely have a problem with them though. I don't know if this is just me, but I find that they got lazy making the fruits. For example, why does Magma V1 look better than Magma V2? They made the graphics on Magma V1 look so juicy and detailed. But when it came to Magma V2, they completely changed the texture, and to me it looks worse than the original. Although VFX are not the most important thing at all, they could still make an effort to make them look visually pleasing. I mean, they're already visually pleasing, but more, please. Third of all, the progression. Now, this is a big problem because if we don't have a macro like Tiny Task or macro recorder that's helping us AFK overnight and gain free levels, barely any of us would have the patience to level the fruits up ourselves, and it's also really boring to do it. Well, I wouldn't. As my friend said, 85% of the time spent in the game is probably just us AFKing, and the other 15% is probably us playing the actual game. Imagine being someone who has no more storage on their device and can't install a macro to AFK. That would be so harsh. I think they should make the bosses give much more XP at the cost of them being a bit harder to fight, because as of now, not gonna lie, the bosses are way too easy to solo, but don't give XP to level up, like barely any. When you're like level 250, you're gonna gain 2 levels. Maybe they could also add a game mode where you can fight NPCs in some sort of raid to gain levels, gems, and maybe some kind of drop. That would be very cool. Fourth of all, the obtainment, unlocking new things in the game. Now, considering the fact that all the fruits are usable for fighting people, I do not think that this is a major problem, but the fact still remains that getting legendary fruits and especially mythical fruits is extremely hard and requires you to spend a lot of gems. Never mind what I said about the legendary fruit, but for the mythicals, they should add a mythical fruit pity system like one of my comments mentioned, even if it requires a lot of gems, because right now it is not fair that the average new player has to deal with a bunch of mythical fruit users when he just has a rare fruit. For the boss drops, let's take Marco as an example. I'm pretty sure that Marco has a 0.5% chance of dropping the Phoenix fruit, which means that if you want to have a decent chance of getting the fruit from Marco, you would have to do it 200 times, which is 200 hours of waiting. You guys might say that you can just server hop and stuff, but not really, because the developers shut down the Fruit Battleground servers frequently so that the bosses will all spawn at the same time in all the servers. Finally, for the awakenings, I think obtaining 30 titles is far too long just for an awakening. You gain that from having played the game for a long time. Also, they should make the ways you awaken your fruit more varied, because as of now, all you do is fight Kaido 5 times, get level 300 on your current fruit, and get 30 titles to awaken it. Also, gaining 300 levels to awaken your fruit definitely makes sense to me. If they are gonna add new ways to level up that makes it faster, but if the developers just want the bread, they will surely not add this feature, since people staying AFK for hours probably makes them gain a lot of money, and if that's the case, they will probably pretend they never saw this video. But please do not be mad at the developers if they don't add the features I recommended to them in this video, since it is their game and they are allowed to do whatever they want with it. Well, yes, that was all for the video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Bye, guys.